There is a small silver or gold circle that sits on a woman's finger, which acts as the ultimate boundary between a committed union and the chaos of the open market. But when that circle disappears the moment she steps out the door, you aren't just looking at a forgotten accessory. You are looking at a marketplace reset. Behavioral observations suggest that the removal of a ring is often a calculated psychological shift where she decides to transition from unavailable to visible. You notice it on the nightstand, or you see the faint tan line where her commitment used to live. And when you ask why, she gives you a list of logical excuses. It's too tight, it doesn't match her outfit, or she's afraid of losing it. But the truth is much colder. You are being the victim of identity erasure. She is creating a single persona for the world while maintaining a married persona with you. You're witnessing a psychological operation where your existence as her partner is being redacted in real time so she can explore the attention of other men without the friction of being known as yours. You're the victim of the invisible husband. Today, we are breaking down the brutal reality of why the ring comes off and how she uses plausible deniability to hide the fact that she is hunting while you are at home waiting. If you don't watch this until the very last second, you are choosing to stay the option while she treats the rest of the world like the main event. A woman doesn't leave her ring at home because she's forgetful. She leaves it there because she can't be a free agent and your wife at the same time. This channel is for men who reject control, resist distraction, and refuse to break. If that's you, you belong here. A lady told me men today have lost their standards, no longer have to focus, discipline, or backbone to stand together. I didn't respond with words. I built this brotherhood instead. This channel was created to challenge that assumption. Every man who subscribes is evidence that strength and self-respect are still alive. Most men will watch this and still go back to their old self. This channel is for the few who won't. If you value truth, control your impulses, and know your worth, don't leave. Subscribe, support the video, and leave a comment so I know you're serious. If you're ready to move differently from the rest, stay, because you're at the right place. We have to look at the psychology of the social signal. You see, brothers, a ring is a no trespassing sign for the rest of the world. Behavioral patterns show that when a woman is truly invested in her man, she wants that sign to be visible because she values the protection and the status of being taken. But when the infidelity process begins, the ring becomes a physical obstacle. It stops the vibe. It prevents the approach. You are the victim of the barrier removal. She isn't just forgetting the ring, she is clearing the path for someone else to step into your territory. When she removes that ring, she is literally switching off her connection to you. It is a psychological ritual. By leaving the ring on the dresser, she is leaving the rules of the relationship in that room. You are being neurologically deleted for the duration of her night out. This leads us to the justification loop. She tells herself it's just for fun, or it's just to see if I've still got it. But behavioral observations suggest that once the ring comes off once, the seal of loyalty has already been cracked. You are the victim of the gradual exit. The most painful part is the gaslight of the missing metal. If you bring it up, she doesn't say, I want to look single. She says you are overthinking. She says it's just a piece of jewelry. Behavioral patterns show that she will minimize the importance of the ring to make your concern look like insecurity. You are being psychologically gaslit into believing that the symbol of your entire commitment means nothing. You are the victim of the symbolic devaluation. I want to tell you about a man named Marcus. Marcus was a hard-working guy who spent 3 months' salary on a diamond ring for his wife, Sarah. He was proud of that ring. But about 2 years into the marriage, Sarah started leaving it at home whenever she went out with her work friends. When Marcus asked about it, Sarah told him she was bloated or that the stones might fall out at a crowded bar. Marcus was the loser in this story because he chose the path of least resistance. He wanted to be the cool, trusting husband. He didn't want to be the guy who controlled what his wife wore. He was the victim of the submission to excuses. For a year, Marcus watched Sarah walk out the door unmarked and available to the eyes of every man in the city.
He even started making excuses for her to his own family. But the truth came out when a mutual friend saw Sarah at a lounge, not just without her ring, but introducing herself by her maiden name to a group of guys. Marcus failed because he allowed his standard to be negotiated away by a woman who was already halfway out the door. He was the victim of the slow-motion betrayal. By the time he found the messages on her iPad, Sarah had already built a whole other life where Marcus didn't exist. He lost his marriage because he refused to believe that the missing ring was the missing respect. You have to recognize the behavioral baseline of the loyal woman. A woman who loves and respects her man feels naked without her ring. She feels a sense of anxiety if it's missing because she doesn't want the world to misinterpret her status. Behavioral observations show that loyalty is a 24/7 commitment. If she only wants to be married when she's standing in front of you, she isn't married to you, she's acting. You are the victim of the part-time commitment. This leads us to the selective visibility. Notice how she never forgets her phone, she never forgets her makeup, she never forgets her ID. Behavioral patterns suggest that we never forget the things that are essential to our goals. If her goal for the night is to be approachable, then the ring is the first thing to go. You are the victim of the priority shift. You are being socially redacted by a woman who is testing the waters of a life without you. The loser's loop is the man who buys a bigger ring thinking that will solve the problem. You think if it's more expensive, she'll want to show it off. But you are the victim of the material fallacy. Behavioral patterns suggest that the cost of the ring doesn't matter if the value of the man has been diminished in her eyes. You are being financially exploited while she is being emotionally disconnecting. You have to realize that the ring isn't the problem, the hand wearing it is. The final stage of this first section is understanding the biological toll of the erased man. This is where your stress hormones spike because your territorial instinct is being triggered. You feel that knot in your stomach when she walks out bare-handed. You are being physically drained by the anxiety of knowing she is presenting herself as available to the world. You are the victim of the instinctual alarm. The man you used to be would have demanded respect, but you have been conditioned to stay quiet, to keep the peace. You have to realize that there is no peace in a house where you are being systematically erased. When you look at that empty space on her finger, you aren't just looking at a missing piece of metal, you are looking at the social green light. Behavioral observations suggest that for a woman who is mentally checked out, the ring acts as a muzzle on her social opportunities. By removing it, she is effectively unmuzzling her ability to flirt, receive drinks, and engage in the high-stakes validation of the dating market. You think she's just giving her skin a break, but she is actually performing the psychological reset. She is resetting her value in the eyes of other men. You're the victim of the market re-entry. She's keeping the benefits of your home life while testing her market worth in the streets. You're witnessing a cold, calculated move where your commitment is treated like a jacket she can take off when the room gets too hot for her liking. You're the victim of the selective matrimony. Today, we are finishing the breakdown of the ring-off protocol. We are looking at the science of the approachable persona, the psychology of the plausible deniability, and the mastery of the sovereign departure. I'm going to show you why a man who ignores the missing ring is a man who is signing the death warrant of his own self-respect. If you don't stay until the very last word of this video, you are choosing to be the secret she keeps while she's out looking for your replacement. This space attracts men with standards. If you live by discipline and strength, subscribe, support the video, and comment below. We have to talk about the science of the approachable persona. You see, brothers, a woman knows exactly how men perceive her. Behavioral patterns show that a ring creates a social friction. It makes a high-value man hesitate before approaching. By removing that ring, she is reducing the friction. She is making it easy for the world to disrespect your union because the world doesn't even know it exists. You are the victim of the frictionless betrayal. When she tells you it doesn't mean anything, she is lying to your face. In the world of social signaling, everything means something. You are being neurologically displaced. She is chasing the dopamine hit of being seen as a single, high-value woman. This leads us to the plausible deniability shield. If she gets caught talking to someone, she can say, "Oh, he didn't know I was married because I wasn't wearing my ring." She creates a situation where she can blame the missing ring for the unexpected attention. You are the victim of the premeditated excuse. She isn't just removing jewelry, she's removing accountability. I want to tell you about a man named Silas. Silas was a man of quiet strength and high standards. He married a woman named Maya. About 6 months into their marriage, Maya started making excuses for why her ring was always in the jewelry box when she went to happy hour with her colleagues. She claimed her fingers swelled in the evening heat. Silas became the winner in this story because he chose the sovereign boundary. Silas didn't argue, he didn't beg, he didn't check her phone. Instead, he simply observed. He realized that a woman who is swelling only when she leaves his presence is a woman who is expanding her options. One Friday night, as she was heading out, Silas sat her down and said, "I've noticed the ring stays home more than you do. Since you prefer the lifestyle of an unmarried woman, I'm going to give you the freedom to pursue it fully. I don't share my life with part-time partners." He didn't wait for the inevitable affair to happen. He was the victim of the disrespectful signal, and he ended the relationship based on that signal alone. Silas won because he understood that the removal of the ring is the removal of the man. He didn't need to see her in a hotel room to know she was already gone. He saved years of his life by respecting the pattern more than the person. He won because he valued his standard over her excuses.
You have to recognize the biological signal of the territorial guard. This is a biological reality. A man is hardwired to protect his investment. When your woman removes the sign of your investment, your biology goes into high alert. Behavioral observations show that men who suppress this alert end up with chronic stress and low testosterone. You are being biologically compromised by staying with a woman who treats your marriage like a part-time job. You are the victim of the territorial erasure. The winner's protocol is about the sovereignty of the final observation. You have to stop listening to her explanations and start looking at her actions. Behavioral patterns suggest that a woman who loves her man will wear a string around her finger if that's all she has, just to show she belongs to him. If she has a diamond and leaves it in a drawer, she is telling you she wants to be found by someone else. You are being hardened for the truth. You are the sovereign man. You recognize that the missing ring is the smoking gun of a heart that has already wandered. You are being reforged. You now know that loyalty isn't a feeling, it's a public stance. If she won't take that stance when you aren't around, she isn't your woman. You are the master of your own psychology. You don't need to prove she's cheating. The fact that she's preparing to cheat by looking single is enough. You are the sovereign man. You are the master of your own destiny. You don't look back at the excuses she made for her bare finger. You look forward at the clarity you found when you decided to only give your ring to a woman who is proud to wear it. So, here is the smart question for the Brotherhood today. If the ring is just a piece of jewelry to her, why is she so determined to make sure she isn't wearing it when other men are watching? I want to hear from the men who noticed the ring coming off before they found out about the work friend or the ex who suddenly reappeared. How did you handle that first moment you saw the ring on the nightstand while she was out having fun? For the brothers who are currently being told they're controlling for wanting their wife to look married, are you going to believe her words or are you going to believe your own gut? Drop your experience in the comments.
Your story could be the wake-up call another brother needs to stop being the secret in his own marriage and start being the man he was born to be. This channel is for men who've stopped carrying responsibility for other people's decisions. If that's you, don't drift away. Stay. Subscribe, support the message, and let your voice be known in the comments. We're building clarity here, and this is only the beginning. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay cold, stay in your power.